Hello there, this is Carol. Um, Welcome to Reverse De-Evolution, the Universal Ethics. Turquoise 6 will reverse de-evolution. I feel good saying that because I need some hope. I need something to help me right now. Something to hold on to because my very topic is stating that I can't really hold on to anything right now. Um, One of the big problems that I have been observing in our world, in our country, in our city, in our whole structure of humanity, in this civilization, my country, America, has been lack of communication or very limited communication. It has been, I seem to be observing that people are either forgetting how or tired. We're not functioning anymore very well. We're turning everything over to websites and computers and even AI. And AI is wonderful. AI is helping me answer a lot of questions that I need to ask every day about life, about things going on. And I'm a little bit hoarse right now because I just got finished yelling. I had to yell a little bit. I had to yell and scream, do some yelling and screaming therapy. And sometimes when I get frustrated, I yell at the phone. I yell at my phone or I yell at my computer because it loads too slowly, for one thing, or I have trouble getting to the right page. And that's what I'm talking about. Trying to figure out things. Now, two things were going on today that were worrying me. Since there was no communication whatsoever, I got my Medicaid cut off in January. In fact, it had been cut off already since October. The Medi-Cal itself got cut off in August of last year, 2025. And it was because, unbeknownst to me, they had not renewed my full scope Medicaid. I'd gotten a text on my phone that from Benefits Cal that said, "Congratulations, Ms. E, you have gotten your Medicaid automatically renewed until June of 2026." And I was really happy to know that I didn't have to worry about renewing my Medi-Cal. So I ho-hum. I went about my business. I thought I could enjoy another year of being on Medicaid. Well, alas, they had only enrolled me in the Medicare savings plan. I'm a dual eligible. I have Medicare, and Medi-Cal. Disabled people can use Medicare if they're certified disabled and on SSDI or SSA, and Social Security Disability Insurance or Social Security Retirement, whatever it's called. I'm on SSDI, and I didn't know that I was only being enrolled in the Medicare savings plan, which, thank God, they gave me some saving grace. I didn't have to pay any bills, any pickup bills, any 20%, because I had that. I was protected with that. I was a qualified beneficiary, a qualified Medicare beneficiary or something. So that was my saving grace. I'm really glad that happened. But I didn't have the full scope Medicaid, and as a result of me not having the full scope Medicaid, I got disenrolled from my Medicaid, my managed Medicaid plan that was supposed to help pick up and pay for stuff that Medicare didn't pay for. In California, at least, you have to enroll in a Medicaid plan, regardless whether you're dual eligible or just have plain Medicaid. So I got informed after Christmas that I had to pick a Medicaid plan, and don't mind my roommate in there. He's listening to his own stuff on his phone. So if you hear any background noise, that's it. Please, YouTube, do not copyright strike me because I don't have control over what plays in the background in this room. I do not own any of this music that might be playing in the background. I don't play the radio in the background anymore because I got copyright struck for doing that one time. So YouTube, that was not very nice. I know you have to follow rules, but I don't like that. I think that's ridiculous. Okay, back to my topic. Miscommunication and limited communication does affect our society and affects our systems and affects us being able to enjoy our benefits or enjoy our peace of mind and have the health care, what's left of it, have health care, what's left of it. Even if I had a private health insurance, these snafus that happen without me even knowing. Now, if I got a notice of action in the mail or by email, I could take care of it. But all I got was this sideways stuff. Now that's what happens when you don't communicate on a personal level, on a political level, on a social level, or on a system or a bureaucratic level. If you don't communicate, if we don't have communication, if the channels are not communicating, stuff like this happens. I get cut off. I get treated like a no-show. I get treated like a delinquent. That's what happened to me last year when I got discharged from the IOP. My counselor and I had a really bad communication line going. It was like neither one of us wanted to deal with the other. And as a result of that, I got discharged instead of transferred to another branch in that program. That hurt too. When you don't communicate, it hurts. When a couple doesn't communicate and they just act out, can you imagine how many divorces might be going on because people can't talk anymore? Can you imagine what just happened to me? Had my insurance cut off because nobody let me know that I was supposed to take care of something. When I did call Medi-Cal, they told me that it was a mistake. They told me, I'm sorry, we didn't mean to do that. We'll get you right back on it. And they did. That was cool. And I thanked them. And I was grateful that they did that. I was even more grateful that they gave me retro. They were able to make it so that my health providers could bill them for services that I utilized all year long. So it wasn't just the Medicare savings plan. It was full scope and Medicare savings plan. They said I had all of that. I should have had all of that, and they admitted it. So I'm not too upset with the county. I'm not too upset with the state of California. But I am very upset about communication lines not being open. I think that really gets to me. It really makes me, it scares me more than it makes me angry, really. I know things are messed up. I can practically forgive that, but where are we going here? We didn't have, that, we didn't, also another thing, it's three things. The other thing I was dealing with was my pharmacy. I'm trying to get another dose of medication from my psychiatrist. And I can say psychiatrist because this is a mental health peer channel. And I was trying to get another medication prescription from my psychiatrist filled at the pharmacy. They had called it in, but they did not communicate with me and tell me when it was ready. They didn't tell me if it was going to be delivered or if I was supposed to go and pick it up. And last month, I ran out of meds because they didn't communicate with me about even if the medication was filled. And it might have had to do with the Part D plan being messed up from the Medi-Cal being disenrolled. So I did find out that I had medication, but I had to pay $20 Uber fare for a round trip because I had to run over there and get it myself because nobody informed me that, so I couldn't even properly plan a trip over there by the bus, and I couldn't, and I wasn't having it delivered, and maybe that was because of the insurance, but they didn't tell me. They didn't communicate with me. When I asked them about it, they said they didn't even know what was wrong. They didn't even know what was wrong. It's like I feel like people don't know things even because maybe someone doesn't communicate with them. Maybe that's it. It's like a big vicious circle and a big chain reaction. We don't communicate. Nobody frickin' knows anything. I'm supposed to go pick him up this Monday. Today's Friday. So I got that squared away, but not before a couple of people snapped my head off. They were in a bad mood. I was kind of in a bad mood. Maybe I didn't really help, but I was trying to keep my voice down and say, I wish you guys had let me know. And you're hard to get a hold of. They were, it's hard to even call them. I get referred to voicemail all the time, and the person who called in my prescriptions said, well, I don't have any trouble getting a hold of them. How come you don't have any? How come you have trouble getting a hold of them, Carol? Because I never have any trouble getting a hold of them. And I said, you know what, ma'am? I have no idea, but no matter how you slice it, it's not getting done. When I can't even get a hold of the pharmacy, I don't even know what I'm supposed to do. I don't even know when it's ready. So I'm thinking about having it transferred. And she goes, well, you can't do that because it's already been billed. She talked like that to me. And by the time I hung up with her, I was almost in tears. I was almost crying. And I was actually breaking out in a cold sweat. I mean, I hate being talked to like that. It upsets the hell out of me, and it still triggers me. And it's funny, I can work at my turquoise 6 thing when I'm not triggered. I think that's one lesson I need to learn. Part of the beauty of peerhood, being a peer, is I'm still learning. I'm still learning this stuff. But I want to learn it, and I want to get a hold of it. My Dear Abby question to AI today was, how do I stop getting so upset when I'm feeling powerless? Like when people don't know things, or when people don't tell me things that I need to know. I mean, that I actually need to know. I mean, it's not like I want to know the weather forecast every day, but I want to know if my insurance is being cut off or not. I want to know what I need to do to take care of it. I wasn't able to take care of the Medicaid for 6 months because I didn't even know it was cut off. So I just got re-enrolled with my Medicaid plan for 3 days ago. They finally got that squared away, and my provider finally saw it in their computer system, and I was able to get my therapy appointment without worrying about whether or not it was getting paid for. And then I wanted to know if my drug plan had been disenrolled. Thankfully it wasn't. I have my meds, and I'm going to pick them up on Monday. Then, since I haven't been getting any mail for the past week, I tried to call the post office and find out if our mail was still being delivered, and there was a question whether or not we were even listed as an active address. So I had to deal with that. I had to talk to a representative at the national post office line, and she wasn't very friendly either, and I had to deal with that. And I just kept patiently asking her, what do I need to do for that? You mean you don't even know whether or not our mail got discontinued? And she's like, well, I don't know that, but I can give you the number of your local post office. I called them, and nobody even friggin' answered. The phone just rang and rang and rang and rang and rang. And I think at one point I got a robot before the phone rang and rang and rang saying, you can go to our website. Well, I went to their website, and they didn't have what I needed to know. And the lady at the national line said that I could sign up for informed delivery, And I did that, but not before I had trouble finding our address on file. Our address looked like it was missing. Our apartment number looked like it was missing from the system, which really scared me. But I looked a little harder and they were out of order. The numbers were out of order. So I finally found it. But another cold sweat, another freak out in my brain, another burst of cortisol and adrenaline. Oh my God. Are we even listed as active residents somewhere in our city, you know? And well, I found out on the computer for a fact that our mailbox was active, but we just were not getting any mail. Well, I think it's very unusual not to get any mail since Valentine's Day or since February 11th. You know, and it's probably around the 20-somethingth right now, maybe the 20-somethingth of February now. So that was a worry. But again, no communication. I'm surprised if I can even see the mail truck anymore going down our block. I don't see the mail truck very often anymore. I don't see the mail deliverer too often. I usually see the mail deliverer every 3 days, an average of maybe every 3 days, even when I'm going outside or going to check the mail. Sometimes the mail deliverer is right there outside. That used to happen. What is going on here? I feel like America is becoming a wasteland. It really feels that way. I hear human behavior outside our door right now. I just heard another apartment door slam, and I hear people upstairs. But why aren't we talking to each other? That is scaring the you-know-what out of me. This reminds me of back in the 1990s when I was in my 30s. I was looking forward to the days when computers would take over and we wouldn't have to talk to each other anymore. Well, Carol, guess what? You got your wish. But I didn't know it was going to be this bad. I didn't know that. And I even got so agitated today that I didn't realize I was barking at my roommate. And he goes, "Carol, would you please not bark at me?" And I said, "Okay," because I realized I was. And my principle of hate the problem, not the person, that helped, because back in the day, I would have gotten angry and defensive and scared. Oh my God, I'm a bad person. But I realized that when I'm full of cortisol, when I'm angry and upset, I'm not Carol. I'm some animal, wild animal in survival mode, and I don't like when that happens. I noticed that the postal worker sounded very tired on the phone. I noticed that the other woman that was dealing with the pharmacy, she sounded like she might have been talking to people all day. I mean, my goodness, it was the end of the afternoon when I called, and she sounded annoyed that I even dialed her direct number. And then I felt like retorting, you know what? I dialed your number because on the phone tree it said, for pharmacy, hit this number. Is it okay if I press 2, ma'am, lady? But I didn't. I controlled myself. I thought, okay. And I said, yeah, I dialed your direct number because I thought you were the pharmacy person. I said it like that. But when you're dealing with mental illness or emotional stuff, you guys, it's not easy to deal with the world. And it's especially not easy to deal with the world when we're all behaving in a much worse way than we that I've ever observed in my life. I'm 58 years old and I feel like everybody's just collapsing, and I'm trying not to. Maybe we're all trying not to as well, but it's scary. I feel like I'm in a wasteland. I feel like I'm in a wasteland instead of a country. My wasteland is of the sweet wasteland of liberty. Sorry. Ooh, lovely I sing. God bless America. God bless Earth. What is it going to take? Are we all going to have to collapse are we all going to have to collapse into a black hole before we shine on as a star? And don't you dare call me ridiculous. Yeah, I've got it too. I think I've got the bug too. I don't know how to talk anymore either. I'm scared. All right. I was going to talk about something else as well, but I think I've taken enough time up already. It'll be another video. It was about bullying. Stay tuned.